The moment is raw, unscripted, an absolutely electrical clash that will be replayed, dissected, and debated for years. In instant, America's reality TV queen Kim Kardashian is ordered off Jimmy Kimmel's stage, leaving millions gasping, hearts racing, and social media exploding. 1 second she's perched under the blazing studio lights, poised and flawless. The next, she's rising, eyes blazing with defiance, every step a thunderclap echoing. Through a stunned crowd, this isn't a skit, this isn't a joke, this is a seismic moment in late-night history, a brutal, unfiltered showdown that no one saw coming as a heavy studio door slams behind her. It's not just a door closing, it's a vault ceiling shut, a chapter of television history. But to understand how this night unraveled into chaos, we need to rewind, because just moments before the stage was alive with laughter, nostalgia, and the glow of a star-studded reunion, what began as a warm, glittering spectacle spiraled into one of the most explosive confrontations late-night TV has ever witnessed. The night kicks off like a classic Hollywood dream. The band's horns blare, lights dance across the sleek set, and the audience leaps to their feet as Jimmy Kimmel's voice booms. Kim Kardashian. She glides onto the stage of vision. In a tailored, shimmering dress or smile, a perfectly crafted beacon of charm, the crowd roars, their applause rolling like thunder through the studio cameras sweep to Kris Jenner and Khloe Kardashian in the front row, waving with pride, their presence amplifying the electric atmosphere of the family affair, a dazzling reunion of reality royalty and late-night royalty. Jimmy beams as Kim settles into her seat, his voice warm with familiarity. "Welcome back, Kim. I love it. When you're here, you're always so fun. And my whole staff, they're obsessed with you. They say you're the best." Kim laughs, her response smooth and effortless. "I love coming on," she says, practically glowing under the adoration. The audience erupts again, their cheers. A tidal wave of love for a fleeting moment. Everything feels perfect. Two old friends catching up under the spotlight, the chemistry effortless, the vibe pure Hollywood magic. Jimmy leans, and his eyes twinkling with mischief. "Remember that St. Patrick's Day back in the day we all hit that bar together?" Kim's head tilts, her lips curling into a nostalgic smile. "Oh yes," she replies, her voice light. "The finger puppets. I remember." The crowd chuckles, charmed by the image of a younger Kim laughing in a crowded bar, clutching quirky finger puppets alongside Jimmy. It's a sweet golden moment dripping with nostalgia, and the audience eats it up, swooning at the playful banter. Jimmy doesn't stop there. He dives into Kim's recent triumphs, praising her Saturday Night Live cameo, that bold cold open sketch with Kristen Wiig. "You were fearless," he says, his voice full of admiration. Kim's response is steady, unshakable. "I don't get nervous," she declares, her confidence radiating ever. The crowd cheers louder, marveling at the woman who claims to be immune to pressure. The studio pulses with joy, admiration, and laughter. A perfect reunion, a family cheering from the front row, a star shining brighter than ever. No one suspects a storm brewing. Beneath the surface, the laughter still echoes when Jimmy leans back, that mischievous grin tugging his lips. The shift is subtle, like a cloud passing over the sun, but the energy in the studio changes. "So, Kim," he says, his tone dripping with mock curiosity, "you never get nervous, not even standing on stage with Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell staring you down?" Kim tilts her head, her hair catching the light like a halo. "Never," she says, her voice calm but firm. "It's just not in me." The audience claps, impressed by her poise, but Jimmy doesn't let go. His eyebrow arches, his tone sharpening. "Not even during your driver's test, sweaty palms, heart racing, trying to prove yourself." Kim chuckles, still composed. "I passed, no nerves." Is playful at first, but Jimmy presses harder. "That's wild," he says, letting the words linger. "Most people, most human beings get nervous," unless he pauses, smirking. "Unless they're not human." The crowd bursts into laughter, loud and sharp. But the cameras catch something else flicker in Kim's eyes, a spark of fire gone. In an instant, her smile stiffens, but she holds her ground. Jimmy senses a shift and pounces. "Superhuman Kardashian," he teases, his voice laced with sarcasm. "No nerves, no pain. Is that why you broke your own rule, the no bumper sticker on a Bentley rule?" The audience roars, recognizing the reference years ago. Kim swore she'd never get a tattoo. Why mar a Bentley with a bumper sticker? Yet now she's forced to admit to the tiny infinity symbol inked inside her lip. Kim's smile falters for a heartbeat. "Yes," she says, her voice cooler. "Now I did it. It's hidden. It's private." Jimmy doesn't let up. "Hidden but permanent," he shoots back. "Even Bentleys crack." Sometimes how the laughter crashes through studio. But it's different now, sharper, almost cruel. Kim keeps her composure, her laugh light, but force her eyes betraying a flash of irritation, like lightning flickering across a clear sky. The warmth between host and guest cools the tension, creeping into the room like a shadow The applause feels too loud, the laughter too long to first. Crack in Kim's polished armor begins to show. Jimmy, sensing the unease, shifts gears, but not to safer ground. His voice takes on a teasing edge, like a friend joking. "But aiming to wound your mom's always been great to me," he says, glancing at Chris in the audience. "Remember that setup at the Ivy, that interview? That wasn't exactly an interview." The crowd laughs, half confused, half delighted. Chris waves from her seat, her smile wide and performative. Kim's lips curve, but her eyes darken. "Yeah, I remember," she says, her tone clipped. Jimmy chuckles, pushing further. "You walked in with your resume, ready to land a job, and your mom told a guy it was a date, an Emmy-winning date." The audience howls, some clapping, others shouting in disbelief. The cameras cut to Chris, who covers her mouth in mock modesty, reveling in the chaos she orchestrated years ago. Kim's laugh is brittle, now her body stiff. "It wasn't funny," then she says, her voice firm. "And it's not funny now." The laughter softens, a ripple of unease spreading through the room. Jimmy, undeterred, keeps going. "Come on, Kim." That's classic Chris mixing business and pleasure. The guy even offered to bring his Emmy as a date. Accessory comedy gold. The laughter feels strained, now hollow. Kim's jaw tightens, her smile gone, replaced by a mask of composure stretched thin. "It wasn't comedy gold to me," she says, her voice low but razor sharp. The studio air thickens, the spotlight burning hotter, the set's neon colors suddenly too harsh. The band shifts uncomfortably, waiting for a cue that doesn't come for the first time. The balance of power feels unsteady. Kim, the queen of composure, her eyes flickering with controlled anger. Jimmy, the king of late night, unwilling to pull back. The storm hasn't broken yet, but it's brewing, and everyone feels it. The laughter fades, the air grows heavy, and the stage is set for the eruption that would define the night. Jimmy leans forward, refusing to let the tension diffuse. "You've been busy," he says, his voice deceptively light. Ryan Murphy's show, big cast, Glenn close, Sarah Paulson, Naomi. "What's that?" The table, even I'd be nervous to sit. Kim nods, her expression guarded. "It's been amazing," she says, her voice steady. "We clicked right away. It works." Jimmy's eyes narrow, his smirk sharpening. "And now this comedy, the fifth wheel, with Eva Longoria directing, Will Ferrell producing. That's a leap from reality star to rom-com queen." The crowd cheers at the mention of Hollywood heavyweights, but there's an undercurrent of doubt. Jimmy lets the applause swell before striking again. "Standing next to Kristen Wiig for 3 minutes on SNL is one thing," he says, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "But headlining a comedy film, carrying it, that's different." The words land like a slap sharp and cutting. Some in the audience laugh nervously. Others groan, sensing the sting. The cheers clash with murmurs, the applause mixing with disapproval. The audience is divided, the tension palpable. Kim's jaw tightens, her eyes flashing with fire. The mask slips. She leans forward, her voice steady, but edged with steel. "I wasn't put in those rooms as a joke," she says, each word deliberate. "I was asked to be there because people believe in me, because I've proven I can deliver. And if you don't believe it, Jimmy," she pauses, a silence choking the room. "Watch me." The crowd gasps, half erupting in applause, shouting her name, the other half sitting in uneasy silence. Jimmy raises his brows, playing to the moment. But his grin thins, proven. He repeats, his voice sugar-coated venom. Or just cast for the headlines. The room freezes, a silence is suffocating. Kim doesn't flinch, her eyes locked on his unblinking. "Headlines don't last," she fires back. "Talent does. And I built a career proving I can outlast anyone's doubts, including yours." Attention is electric. The audience, caught between clapping and holding their breath. A woman in the front row shouts, "Go, Kim," while a man mutters skeptically. The division cuts through the air like a blade. Jimmy leans back, folding his arms, his amusement strained. "Well," he says, "I guess we'll see." The critics agree. The nervous laughter dies quickly, the silence heavier than ever. Kim's voice slices through, cold and sharp. "You'll see, Jimmy. And when you do, remember this moment." The weight of her words presses down on the studio, pinning everyone to their seats. The band is silent, the cameras lingering on the tension etched into both faces. The queen of reality TV and the king of late night lock eyes, neither yielding. The crowd erupts, half cheering, half in disbelief. Some standing to clap, others shaking their heads. The show teeters on the edge of collapse. The studio is a battlefield now, the crowd buzzing, split between chanting Kim's name and sitting back with crossed arms. Jimmy, sensing the volatility, presses on. He adjusts his tie, his eyes glinting with a calculated edge. "If Hollywood doesn't work out," he says, drawing out the words, "you've always got schemes." The crowd claps reflexively, but the tone is forced. Jimmy twists the knife, or should I say Nike schemes, because let's be honest, Nike doesn't do partnerships like this unless they got something to game. Makes you wonder who's carrying who. Gasps ripple through the audience, the laughter jagged and fading fast. Kim's body stiffens, her smile gone, her eyes burning with cold fire. She inhales slowly, steadying herself. "I built schemes from the ground up," she says, her voice like steel. "Nike didn't hand me anything. They saw the power of what I created. They wanted I not the other way around. Her words are precise, unshakable. But Jimmy doesn't back down, people. We're buying Nike long before schemes. He says his tone mock innocence. Seems like you need them more than they need you. The studio erupts, some cheering Jimmy's jab, others booing, shouting Kim's name. The chaos echoes against the walls. Kim doesn't move for a beat, then rises slowly, deliberately, the sound of her chair scraping against the floor. Sharp metallic screech silences the room. Every camera swings toward her, the spotlight locking on her silhouette, towers against the neon set, commanding, unyielding. The audience gasps time, stalling. Jimmy's grin falters, but he forces it back. Oh, come on, Kim, don't be dramatic, he says, his tone playful but strained. Kim's eyes are cold, her voice slicing through the silence. No, Jimmy, that wasn't a question. That was disrespect. The words land like thunder. Crowd exploding, half cheering, wildly, half booing. Shouts of go Kim, battle cries of sit down. Kim turns her heels, striking the floor with fierce finality, each step a declaration. The cameras follow, capturing every angle. The sway of her hair, the rigid set of her shoulders, the icy fury on her face. The spotlight trails her, casting her shadow long across the stage. At the edge of the platform, she pauses. The studio doors loom ahead, gleaming under the lights. The world holds still. Then she pushes through the heavy door, slamming shut with a crack that reverberates like a gavel. The queen of reality TV walks out, unapologetic, unbroken, leaving Jimmy in stunned silence. The audience is frozen, caught between awe and disbelief. Jimmy forces a laugh, hollow and brittle. Ladies and gentlemen, he says, his voice straining for control, I think Kim Kardashian has left a building. The studio becomes a stadium, cheers and jeers colliding like thunder and lightning. Jimmy raises a hand, but the chaos swells. Maybe tonight, he says sharply. Kim wasn't ready for questions. A statement lands like a final strike. The camera is capturing the don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated. Subscribe for more powerful video.